I'm going to stand by you. Hi, everyone. We are going to broadcast the Meyerisms Fencing from German Tradition class. It's a 2-hour class, so it's going to be a little longer. We got a great group of folks over here, which is really cool because it's a mixed group of folks, and we've been really focusing on trying to make sure that happens this year, and it's nice to see. I'm looking forward to seeing your class and having it actually a reference point on the community. Thank you very much for coming out. Thanks everybody for watching. All yours.
And thank you for having me. All right, folks, there's a bunch of folks back there. If you don't know me, come on over. How about that? That way I'm not shouting quite so much.
If you don't want to be on camera, you can always do stuff over in this arena over here.
Absolutely. If you're coming for the class, welcome. This is going to be some longsword type stuff. If you don't know me, my name's Warder Györgi Baltasar. Most call me Baltasar, coming out of the eastern part of Middle Kingdom, Brendoken. And I've been working with KDF on and off since 2019, so about 6 years there if we don't count COVID. And this is going to be a class more focused on ideas from distance and winding and opportunities to attack rather than taking plays from the book and saying, let's do these techniques in this order, just so we have a better resource for yourselves to pull from in your own classes to interpret the resources online as you go. Before I get started, does anyone have any questions or thoughts about the class before we get going? Anything you want to see?
Like I said earlier, like I want to see some of the winding stuff and how you go from a bind into something a better attack.
Okay, so winding. We want to see some of that. Anything else? Yeah. We're all here. There's got to be one more thing.
Variety with the backblade. I know a little bit of backblade, but I want more.
Okay, so attacks with this part of the sword towards yourself. Okay, we're definitely going to be doing that too. I think the first thing to do, to be honest, is to warm up. This is going to be 2 hours today, so I think that's probably the wise thing to do. We can set our swords down for a second. So we're going to be really simple here. Hands out in front of you. You're going to turn that in for a grasp. We're going to do that 10 times. Fast. 6, 7. Again, straight up. Right. Same thing. We're warming up our forearms and our grip strength. Once you do 10, we're going to do it straight behind us as far as you can reach. Same thing. Your hands are probably getting a little tired by now. And it's just trying to get as gripped as possible and out. So it feels goofy, but this is good. Gets the blood in the hands. All right. So hands straight in front. You're going to bring it straight up to the sides, down by your hips. You're going to do this 5 times. Get the full shoulder mobility. We're going to be using this a lot today. Once you've done 5, I want you to meet here in the middle. Reverse. Bring it back through. And then we're going to split the difference. One goes high, one goes low. Have them split. Go around.
I don't know.
It's also coordination. And then reverse that.
If I wanted to do 2 different things, I'd fight sword and shield.
All right, cool. Just simple neck rolls. Loosen the neck, full range of motion. Do that 3 or 4 times in reverse. All right, hand straight out. And just rotate through. Keeping the spine straight, right? If we start flexing there, we're not getting the full stretch, the full warm up. All right, and now for the knees. This one's a little tricky for some folks. Knees together, hands on knees. They go past the toes. Circle to the right side, bring it back. And you're doing full circles here. 5 of those. Feet on the ground. You're trying not to lift off. And then when you've done 5, reverse and go the other way. Start on the right, go left. All right. Hips wide, hip rolls. So how your guys' day been? Good? Right on, reverse.
It is too warm.
Exactly. That's why we're warming up more. All right. That being said, grab swords. This is going to be one of the only things we do today where you don't need full kit. So what we're going to be doing here is going through the primary cuts. These are the long edge cuts. But first I'm going to describe some bits of the sword to help move along. So Meyer breaks down the sword into 4 pieces. This is a sword. If you haven't seen it, the sword is our two-handed sword or long sword. We've got the first third of the blade, the weak. This is where we're trying to hit with other targets. It's also the weakest part of the blade in terms of defense. We have the middle. We have that crossover point, the middle third of the blade. A lot of winding actions can start from here. We can do some defensive and offensive actions from this too, but it's not its speciality. We have the bottom third of the blade, the strong, which is bottom third to the cross guard. That's where a lot of our defensive actions are coming from. You're really not going to try to hit someone with this. It's just, you're missing out on reach. Let's put it that way, just as one example. And the last quarter is actually the cross guard to the pommel. This is used for a lot of our grappling and wrestling actions. As an example, we meet high here. I might hook into his arm with the pommel, or I can go underneath, force his arm up. So that is how it is divided. We also have 2 edges, right? It's a straight sword. The edge facing away from me is the long edge. The edge facing towards me is the short edge. Lastly, we do have 2 grips. We have this more regular grip where my hand is by the top of the cross guard. My left hand, are we all right-handed? Okay. So your dominant hand is going to be at the top. Your other hand is going to be gripping your pommel if you have a comfortable pommel to do so. If it's not rounded, you can grab here, it's fine. But grabbing the pommel gives us a little bit more reach so I can do some more specific actions. It also is a leverage point. We can also press our thumb. I'm extending it onto the flat, and now I'm in a different grip. That is what we're going to be doing to do some of the actions with the short edge to hit. But we do have some primary cuts. So we're going to start from here. Sword right up top of your head. Point can be a little behind, and we're going to move the blade to our right shoulder, cut through to the hip. You're going to bring it back with the same force and cut through. So these descending cuts, this is called a ribbon, where we do an action like this. Typically, it's accompanied by a step of the foot. So if I'm cutting from the right side, I want my right leg forward. If I'm cutting from the left side, I want my left leg forward. We also have the reverse, right? So I bring the pommel across, and now I'm up here. So that's our next cut. The descending ones are called the Oberhau. The rising ones are the Unterhau, or ascending cuts. We also have the middle Hau. My point's straight in front of me, right? I can cross over, and I'm always striking at the long edge for these primary cuts. And I can end up with it by my side, a middle hoot, which is a guard, or as far back as the back of my shoulder. It's called Zornhut, or Wrath Guard. And I'm cutting straight through on a flat plane. Lastly, we have different cut, Scheitelhau. Gen straight, point forward. It's a cut to the head. Those are our primary cuts, right? They're all long edge. They're very simple, cutting through. So, this is our first game. We're going to get in full kit for this, but what we're going to do is make sure we can deliver these with the footwork correctly. So, I'm going to be taking any posture. I'm not too concerned at this point which one you take. And I'm going to be trying to hit this guy. You're going to stay still, just to demonstrate. I want to just barely reach him. He doesn't want to get hit, so I'm going to do 3 or 4 cuts, trying to reach. He's going to step away, matching my step. And I'm going to stop. he should be close enough to take a single step and hit me in the head with a Scheitelhau. If he's too far, then he's missed the game. The goal is to be just in range that when the opponent stops making this flurry, that you can make that counterattack. The idea is that this is Zufechten. This is the onset. This is our fencing distance. And Meyer says Zufechten starts when the two fencers are a fathom away from each other. Does anyone actually know how long a fathom is?
It's fine.
Yeah, about 6 feet. Yeah. So really, it's whoever, a simple way to think about Zufechten, and I'm willing to be corrected here, is it's the distance where one of the fencers can hit the other with a single step. Like, that is the minimum distance. So he's actually in Zufechten. He can take a big step and just reach me. I wouldn't have the reach there. So, for the game, you're going to partner up. One person is going to be setting up, practicing moving through with these passing steps. And then you're going to stop. And then the opponent should be in range to get that single stroke. This is just a basic warm-up to make sure we're on the same plane. So grab your kit. Two. Our group is small enough, you'll probably need a partner if they're in a person. Thank you. That's okay. I appreciate it. If we had two more, I would probably have you help me watch. All right. That's a beautiful lot of kit right there. One last thing to add, as you're doing these passing steps, I want you to pivot on the ball of your foot to this position. Whatever foot's stepping forward into this cross section. This is a big part of Meyer, is stepping through with the hips and opening up. So that little pivot on the ball of the foot just helps us for some of the other footwork we're going to be doing. So we're going to partner up like this. 2, 2, and you will be with grip. Set up 3 rows this way. If you're towards the castle, you're going to be the first initiator of the cuts. All right, at your leisure. Three. And then you should be in range to take a single step forward, passing or forward, to hit him in the head. Perfect.
I think that was only 3.
3 or 4. That's part of the games. You have to recognize when they stop.
The reflex.
You gotta let him finish his cuts and wait. Oh, yeah.
First pass, he said, is it 3 or is it 4?
My fault,
And then
Either or.
Second pass, he says, you say 3 or 4, and I immediately take 4 instead of 3 without discussing it with you.
But that's good.
Definitely with the wrong foot. So go ahead.
That time to the 4th one, a little too close.
Okay. Nothing else. I wasn't hitting.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, yeah. And I did a big hesitation after 3 where I could have gone 4.
Yeah, I didn't think you were taking that next step.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that was perfect. Everybody wants to vary and do something.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right. When you do the Scheitelhau as opposed to a Zorn, you want to be fully extended. So it's not a chop. It is a full extension. So for the camera, instead of making this cut, which is what we were seeing. We want to be fully extended because that is the difference between an Oberhau and the Scheitelhau. Give it a run. Beautiful. So he got too close and you won because he didn't move far enough.
We've also been playing this. Are we really going to swing it forward?
Which is fair. All right. Let's take a breather. So you were finding some interesting things the way you were fighting. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So one of the things we were incorporating in our little section of it was, are we really going to take a third? Are we really going to take a fourth? And getting that also control of my own measure compared to what he's laying out for me. Like there was one where he didn't take a fourth step, but the pause in his motion on his third, I bet on there being a fourth and I was gone. Right. I could not capitalize on the opportunity that was presented.
And on one of his finishes, I had taken a big step on the third swing, and on the fourth swing, I leaned back. I didn't have to take a step for the strike.
Using your body to feign how far you actually are from the opponent. All right. Well, we're going to be doing a different game in a second. I have a question first, though. Who knows the Meisterhau? All right, let's talk about the Meisterhau real quick. So, this is going to be awesome. Thank you. So, we're going to do a very simple exercise real quick. I want to put your dominant hand forward with thumbs up. I want you to turn it thumbs down one way, thumbs down the other way, right? That action. Cool. I want you to put it straight up over your head and do the same thing and move your hip. If you can't get your thumb pointed forward, move your hip open. And now I want you to take that thumb, move it straight out to the side, same thing. Now have it cross your body. Do the same thing. That is most of the motion of 3 of our Meisterhau. So, now with sword in our hand, let's make a little space for everyone here. I have my thumb on my blade, and if I have it out like this, I can cut with either side of my sword. Also, the ending for these 2 cuts are guards. That's going to be true for the other Meister as well. So if you're in a long point guard, or Langenort, I can cut to his blade. I can also place, or if he goes to stab me straight out, I can hand snipe him. Or if that misses, I can push. And if that setup, I'm a little short, I can thrust. Those are the 3 wounders. We have cuts, we have thrusts, we have slices. These are the 3 ways the sword can hit our opponent and deal damage. To be visible, hit with the thrust, percussive cut, or a place and push through. It's not a draw cut we normally talk about in the SCA like this, but a pushing action. And each has their own place. We're going to kind of explore and see where they work best, rather than me telling you. So we have 2 more. We have a few more Meisterhau. There's 5 total in Meyer. We're going to put our thumb straight up over our head again like this. Wow. And then I'm going to turn my hips and I cut over here. And I do the other side. This is the Zwerchhau, or the crossing cut, or crosswise cut. It can deal with a lot of cuts from above. So if he throws Zornhau at me, cool. Above says weapon, and I take him head. Put a little further back, and he does the same thing. I can still done it, and I can drive the point through. Lastly, if we're in the bind, I can wind through to that same position. These are just some examples of what these cuts do. Last one, Schielhau. Schielhau is my favorite, and it's also probably the hardest for most people to implement, because if I'm in the guard of Thumbtag, whether down here, up here, whatever, and I turn the thumb up. So if I'm crossing my body, my thumb is pointing this way towards my opponent. My palm is away from me to my left. If you're left-handed, this will be your right. And I can do the same on the other side. This has so many implications, but the best one is any point forward guard this can destroy. If you would take long and order again. It is a deflection. If you do any Italian fencing, it's not unlike a counter thrust in quarta. As a similar analogy, the only difference here is this can also be a cut to the head. It can be a press and slice. Many such cases. So, Krump, Zwerchhau, and Schielhau. We've already done 2 of the others. Scheitelhau, we just practiced a lot. It's this sniping forward. My blade is high, point forward, at the face. Can go over the guard, can push through, can be a little tap to the head. It's great for that distance shot. And a few other places too. And then there's the Zorn, which is a specific Oberhaus, the way I like to think of it, where I hit both the sword and potentially my opponent. Hopefully, I get the same action. If he cuts this side of my head, I throw the same cut. If I have the correct angle, I've stepped offline, or I've stepped into his cut, I can now strike his head. At the same time, I strike his body. And it is a descending cut. Not always ending a long point. Sometimes it'll end in the Garde Flug or Iron Gate where hands are a little lower. This allows me to do some other options. So those are the Meisterhau. We've already got the primary cuts. So now also we have some short edge cuts from here. There are quite a few secondary cuts in Meyer. I'm not worried about those this second. We will get to those as needed. So here's the game. We're going to be building off of this game and adding more rules. It's an attacker-defender game. The only valid target for the attacker is from the top of the shoulders up. I've seen it called the glove game. I've heard it called Soviet foil as well. We're just going to be earning some cuts through it. So, if we're playing the game, he's the defender, I'm the attacker. I can only do one cut. I'm going to say everyone needs to be in the Garde Fontaine, whether it's above your head, point high, or some variation off of your shoulder. Don't have it all the way down here. I want to see at least this. You get any cut you want as long as it descends. He's not going to be allowed any blocks. So, it's a footwork game. We're playing this. He has to know that he's not going to get hit. If I swing and miss, he wins. If I swing in his body, but I don't hit the shoulders, he still wins. However, I only have to win if I hang his head or the top of his shoulders, whatever cut I want. The defender cannot block. They can only bodyboard and move. If the defender tries to block, they lose for this round. You can only move your body. Do we have any questions?
What is to stop the attacker from just advancing to here before he throws?
The answer is if you've let him do that.
So just keep running is the answer.
Not necessarily. If you leave past the field, normally I would have this marked out. I would have you reset. So if you end up past that white line, no good. If you get past this set of lines here, imagine it continues across. I'll try to call it as needed. Reset. The goal is for the defender to get me some kind of thing like this, and then I whiff. Or, as the attacker, I'm not just running him down, right? I'm just not going to crowd him. I'm trying to get him to think he's safe, get a little too close, so I can deliver that attack as he's taking the step forward, or he's going to rest. Any further questions? I want you all switch partners. So, you are with you, and he is with him. So, we're going to switch partners each time, to be clear. I want everyone to do something with everyone. Cool.
Nice to meet you. Whoa.
Yep, here are the Womas.
How you doing, bud?
All right, I'm gonna have you guys go this way again, just for ease.
Why don't you be on the offense? Castle side is the attacker?
For the first round, yes.
Wait, that's me, right?
Yep. And I want everyone to be in the Guard of Fontag.
Okay. Sure.
Did you say go?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Good. Sure. Start?
Do we go back and forth after
Yep.
attack?
Yeah, after the attack is done, it switches sides.
My mom was great saber matches.
I've lost, I lost. You had me.
Yep.
Okay, I thought you might have stepped out of it.
I don't know if I got through or not. I got way too close. That's below the
I was
shoulder.
going to say that might be low.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree.
All right, Matt.
It's really hard. Was that just one up? Yeah, you're fine.
Got them leaning.
Right on the door there.
Oh, you got it.
That's how I didn't wait. Yep. Right at
Yep.
the stop of the pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I might have touched your nose, but you might have stepped out of it.
All I heard was the ring of
Yep.
all of this. So.
It's a hard reflex to not. Same.
Getting used to all the sweat is also.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was going straight into your back, brother. Thanks for pulling it.
All right, bring it in. All right, so phase one of this. People on the defending side, what was working to get your opponent to miss?
What do you mean?
So what were you doing as a defender to get your opponent to attack you and miss?
Insanely difficult, but the body voids he was throwing a
Okay.
lot.
Can you expound on that rotation?
So when he came in the straight down shot, it just rotate out of the line.
So you're saying to step off line with some step like this, some more triangle step,
Yep.
and that was working. Okay.
Further expanding off of that, not just doing that when they're attacking, but using your own withdraw to try and draw them into a predictable line. So if I'm going straight backwards, I'm encouraging him to do a straight line attack. But if I'm doing this, I'm encouraging him to attack from this direction. So
Okay.
I can void underneath it.
Right, because you're setting them up to move a certain way by moving your body that way.
Correct.
Very cool. Attackers, what was the easiest way to get... What was working, is what I'm asking.
Do it fast.
Do it fast. So take the initiative. Be the first one to act. Okay.
Back and forth work.
So,
If they're too far away and they're too far away, draw them in.
so similar to the offline step where you're setting up to move one way or the other.
A foot stomp,
Foot stomp, sure.
so that you're okay. You don't know when you're actually going, and then a passing step with the attack
Okay.
to double the distance and close it.
Perfect. So it sounds like whoever was taking the advantage was winning more, right? Whether it be the attacker or defender. So a concept, who's heard of four and knock? Okay, we got two this time. We've doubled. Three. Okay, triple. So simple way to put it is it's about who is taking the initiative in the fight. Is the way I look at the four being who is acting first, not necessarily who's acting faster, but who is making the leading decision. So in the game we're playing just now, we're structuring this. The attacker gets the sword to move first. They get the four like that. But that's not the only way to take it. As was hinted out already, if you're leading the footwork, if you're making the decision to step and control where the fight's moving, that is also the four. The reaction after the response would be in the knock. So if I throw this overhow, he has to defend it. That right there, I have the four, I make the first action, he defends, I get to make my action, he has to keep following. We gotta beat this by going with a counter measure. Indes is kind of the way to put it. It's been translated instantaneously. I have some issues with it. It's more of acting in the moment before it's completed. So if you were to throw it, I love the overhow example. It's nice and simple. You throw it at my head, I block, and before you can make a second action, I need to respond in that moment. Or another way to do that in the next game we're going to be playing is to react. Well, if you didn't block, it's so good. It would be for setting off. It is the best way to parry. So we have three parries. We have the one that is a counter strike in the same action, right? Bam. I hit him too. Beautiful. Or I have the parry that sets him up for another attack. So I haven't hit him, but I'm safe. And now I can respond. The worst parry you can do is the static block, right? He cuts and he keeps cutting at me. Oh no, I gotta pick aside the block. All I can do is respond. That's the worst thing you can do. So before we go back to the game we're playing with new rules, we are going to do this. We're going to learn how to counter these strikes. So I am going to deliver an attack at Grimborg. He's in a guard position. Bam. He's not going to respond. He's going to see what the attack is. I'm going to set up the same attack at half speed. He's going to respond. Now the goal is to line up and hit your opponent in the same time you cut into their weapon. So in this case, you'd probably end up throwing, say, a Zordhau or a Zwerghau. And I appreciate him not hitting my head in that angle.
Yeah.
And then, if it doesn't work and he doesn't get the hit, you're going to switch. Or you're going to stay there and throw a different cut. So, if we do this and we end up just crossed, okay, that didn't work. I'm going to throw the same cut and he's going to try something different. Hey, look at that. He blocked the cut and hit my hand. That counts. And then you switch who's the initial attacker. Question.
Is the person only throwing overhows?
They can throw any of the primary cuts or master cuts.
Okay.
So if we're set up here, I'm in Zorn, I can absolutely throw Zerk at my opponent.
And see what they do about it.
And I encourage you all do throw all of the cuts. Armor up. Go. Yeah.
One question on transitioning back and forth between the thumb position, because obviously you're in Zorin, and then all of a sudden you use one of the master cuts with the thumb on the top.
Yes.
How do you make that transition easy?
How I make that transition easy from thumb. Actually, I'll take a class. Answer from the class. How can you easily transition from a regular grip to a thumb grip?
Instead of thinking about moving your top hand to a different place on the sword, you will use the pommel to position the sword in your hand.
Okay.
You just rotate the sword to where you want it, and then you can tap.
So, okay.
This
Yeah.
is much easier than
Then fiddling and trying to get my thumb up. Yeah, it's like
Make your life easy.
you just twisted the sword to where you want it to be.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The only real difference is you're extending your thumb out.
Yep.
Everything else is on the pommel. All right. Switch partners. Fighting someone you haven't fought before.
Perfect. I'm ready to use all the time. That's good though, because you remember them all and I don't. I do not remember all these thumbs.
That's okay. That is also part of the experimentation. You can ask me.
So you were attacking first, I believe.
Yes.
Show me what it is, and then you reset, send it again, and I try and figure out what
Let him do the cut and hit you, Grim.
Straight up.
Yep. You're gonna observe what the cut is, and then you find the counter on the second time. Actually hit.
Actually hit.
Fail. All right.
My turn to cut.
better. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, it was stiff, but sorry. It was a nice displacement though.
Go good.
Yeah, your turn.
All right. So,
Oh, split something hit. Sorry. Okay, that's you're doing a straight shot. Okay. Now I have to do it. Yeah.
so you get a win.
Yep. Doing the same thing, it's just underneath it.
Well, my turn to cut.
I'm coming horizontal, and you're coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? The next time, do it with actually make the strike at the same time.
Yeah.
A little stiff.
Better.
That's okay.
Now, I will say,
Your turn to
that
throw
while
strike.
that did work, it's more effective if you got that thumb underneath.
Sorenhow is very good. Just cutting on top of the sword. Any descending cut, if he's coming from above to cutting down, you can do the same cut.
So I'm going to do the same cut.
I feel like I'm worried about hurting the hand.
And the key thing is it making a step offline. So if you can do both, great. Or into their weapon. And actually,
It's over the head. It doesn't work.
if it's over the head, you don't want to put the point back.
Yep.
You want to keep it right above.
Yep.
And that is about where you are. Also, fun fact, all the cuts counter each other.
Yep.
So, my instinct with this one from here is to just step here.
With that descending cut?
I wasn't going to do the sending cut. I was going to do the drawing.
Oh, so Zverkow. Okay. So, what do you want to do with that cut?
So if I'm going like this,
Yeah.
My instinct is to go here.
Well, he is dropping his hands. That's a big part of it. What you could also do is throw your own Zverkow, if I may step in.
Okay.
So take the guard position. Show me what the cut is. So he's cutting there, right? So what if I step to my left?
I'm viewing if that was the right thing.
And that covers my head. And because I can raise my pommel hand, it's also easier if you got it on there. You can drop that. Hey, you're covered. Thrust in. Works on the other side too.
Get from here.
Grab the water real quick.
Okay.
ready?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, even better if you just take a big step with your left foot over and then follow with the right behind.
At the same time.
Would help if I blocked it.
That's okay. That's a timing issue, not a structure issue.
I think you got a little bit on your hand, though. So
Yeah,
try it one
so-
more time.
I need to turn, don't
Yeah. There it is.
Very nice.
Much better. Thank you. Nice work, bud.
We love the Zornhow. Very slick.
Well, and again, I felt like you're like, here's a trick though, and I'm like, I think it's hidden.
Yep. It's not you have all the instinct. It's the technique.
It's fine, no. Yeah. I was like,
Then I would just rotate in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just placing to the side.
likewise, don't have.
All right. Fellas, feel free to take a water break. I think that's what we're doing. Actually, I'm going to say we're officially doing a water break. Get your pass.
Dude, it's so bad out here.
Yeah.
It is scorching.
Uh-huh. Truth be told, I was going to do it on the dot, but hey, 2 minutes early ain't bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here.
If you had uneven numbers, I'd step out.
Fun class, but
Hey, thank you. Just getting a little water. And then we're going to do a little more.
yep. Not saying it was over. Just I'm enjoying it.
I'm glad. I hope y'all are enjoying it. Actually, now's a good time to just talk. So, what are we observing that works for these countercuts? Go for it.
Get the forte onto the cut and land your tip, whether it's a thrust or a slash. Just make the block and power through.
Yeah, we're using structure, right? The weak of the sword is easy to manipulate, and it fits in motion. We know where it's probably going. So put your strong of the sword on the weak of theirs. Hit them with the weak.
And when I think I've got the strong of the sword, and he's got the strong of the sword and body mechanics, I still lose.
Yes.
To further expand on that, not just the strong of the blade on the weak of theirs, but also trying to get our edge on their flat.
Yes.
So we can do that with positioning or with the turns of the hand, depending on what's going on.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get more water over.
For the vertical cuts, a lot of it's just being offline and being able to come in into the and still throw the same shot, but from offline.
Yeah, and I'm teaching him one right now. So, and that works in two ways, right? We can move offline away from the cut, where, yeah, your sword, if you wouldn't mind just holding it straight out. Assuming he's in the middle of the cut, I can either step offline and go get an angle, or I can step through it. And now we're using not only the force of my body behind the cut, but also creating a new angle. Because this angle, bad for me. This one's a little better. And all it changed, I didn't move my hand, I just stepped. So moving away from where they're cutting can be equally effective.
Jordan was showing me how much safer I was instead of doing this, doing this.
Yes.
Getting his point even higher was safer for my hand.
Especially with any bind from the high guard. If this, I mean, we see permutations across the many masters in KDF from here to here. I prefer this, and also a little forward. Gives us the coverage, but if I'm down here, my head's a little exposed, right? Don't have the strength. But from here, my arms are a little more extended. I can use that and absorb it into my shoulders and my back. It's a just stronger position. You can also do this too, but there's time and place for the guard of ox from here and from here.
Isn't that more of a timing thing, depending on where they're at? Because if you get too high too early, they have the opportunity.
Yeah, underneath.
It could be, yeah. I still think if they're doing anything descending, I would still want to receive it with an extended. Something we haven't talked about is Meyer especially loves delivering all of his cuts fully extended. They're not really cramped up here. The arms aren't close. Meyer's loving full arm extension. So that's a huge thing with them. And actually, something we're going to explore, going back to a new version of the game we played before the last one. It's going to be the same rules, but our defender gets one block now. They get an action. The thing is, though, if they go to parry and there's not an attack, that is a loss. So if I twitch over and do a guard change and the attacker only used footwork and did not begin their swing, that is a loss. So that's where we're going to be adding in. We've been doing some stuff about, hey, we've offset their attack. We've done this. Now we're going to actually apply it in the more full speed.
So you get
Question?
Are we still showing them what attack we're going to do first, resetting, and then doing it?
Nope. We're going back to the game before that, where
shoulders,
head and shoulders, and you get a counter. We're going to expand targeting area after this.
But the counter has to have a strike.
Exactly. Well, preferred. How about that? It's draw if there's no hit.
Not getting hit is good.
Make the
Killing
block
him
the
better.
draw.
Exactly.
Okay, the victory condition is to counter strike your opponent.
Yep, it is ideal. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about feints and add those into that as well.
Okay.
Any questions about anything? Okie doke. You got a sword?
Yeah, I've got a question for you.
Shoot.
I'm trying to match swords because it's a class.
Okay.
How much do these things vary when somebody has a little reach? A little reach doesn't change it much at all, right?
It can at a certain point, but I think also the nature of the person's body also affects it. Willing to hear second thoughts here as well, but reach does matter. But there's also a big difference between a sword like this and a great sword and something like a katana, right? They're all their own little subcategories, I think. How are we feeling? Do we feel hydrated enough? Do we need a second further, or are we good? All right. This is y'all's class, so if you need to step away, take water. I'm not offended. It's very warm out, and I'd rather we all keep standing up. I think everyone's paired up with everyone, so find a partner that you didn't just fence. And again, same game, except now defender gets one parry. It should be a parry that hits the Zufectin. Once the attack is done, you switch who's attacking.
Starting here.
Yeah, we can move.
Starting from Vomtag, thank you.
Long Pog. We're going to be doing footwork stuff.
You got my hand. Yeah, that's not a victory. Nope. Okay, you're the attacker. Right?
Am I starting? Go ahead.
You didn't make the block, but you made the attack.
You got my hand, not my shoulder.
I thought I got that. Good. Nope. Okay.
It was clear.
Nope.
It's still not great for me, but
Then you got that one.
So, with that one, I needed to be here, right?
Oh, you okay?
I could have gone here, and
all right.
so
Flipping
my
and
thing
falling.
was I
Not
had
an
the idea
ideal
that I
choice.
expected you-
That was an interesting choice of attack, Harris.
Because I feel
because I expected you to
That was an
come
interesting choice of
here,
attack.
but not here, right?
grab.
So, yeah, go ahead. With that attack. Oh, just okay.
Oh wait, I have to wait for you to swing.
Yep.
I lose. Go again.
And try to make the counter as they attack you when you're blocking.
Yeah. Touch the face.
So, Elmas, don't forget that there's more than just the Zornhound. You can also beat some of his cuts with the Zwerg and with the shield.
But the thing is, because you're offhand from me, it matches weird.
And the first one, I kind of started. I'm gonna come here and try
Oh,
to.
not too much of a feint for this
That's
girl.
a strong guard for me.
No feints yet.
Trying to do the yes.
What?
Yes to feints.
All right. So, are you attacking now?
You're attacking. Yeah, good job. Nope,
Oh, you know what? That's a dumb cut. It will never hit your shoulder.
Yep.
And you did get. It's like I wanted variety, but I forgot
All right, 3 more rounds.
got my hand.
draw.
Too long of a pause.
Yep. Funny enough, that's what Raphael and
I lost that one.
No, that's a draw.
Okay, yeah,
I didn't
draw.
hit you,
Nice
so
standing
draw.
clock.
Yep, your turn.
Yeah. We got that one. Nice. Way to stop that one. Yeah, they are. I would also like to do these with these great swords, too.
There.
All right.
The ability to pop hats between drills is useful.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right.
Go grab a water.
Please grab some water, folks.
And as you do it, you try to hit me at the same time. Ready? That's it. That's better. Nice one.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. And an analogy for your Italian rapier, it's this, and as you cut, right?
not gonna lie, I kind of panicked there.
It's like that, but from above.
Yeah, think of it this way. I'm in the normal grip. I end up here. I'm in a thumb grip. I end up with this protective part where now the cross is keeping it from sliding over. All right. So a little bit more involved. What are some takeaways for the class?
It's harder to hit them.
It's hard to hit them. Why?
They're defending themselves.
Okay. How,
Be worried about the camp.
you have to be, okay.
Less predictable.
That too.
I found myself focusing on footwork a lot less.
Go for it.
This touches on all of that. The more there are more variables,
Yes.
and the more things you have to think about, the harder it all becomes.
What are you doing to reduce those variables, if anything?
But you're allowing him to focus on actually the one thing you want to focus on.
Okay, so the game part of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You actually have the ability, the time to actually throw something correctly without worrying about, oh, my foot's in the wrong place or my block was wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Even within inside the structure of the game, which inherently limits stuff, you can use, once again, your how far of a step you're taking or which direction to encourage them to take certain cuts that you are prepared for and thus you know the answer to. If I am encouraging him to attack here because I'm farther away and it's easier to reach me by reaching straight out, then I am prepared to stop that one. If I get over here, he's going to cut from that way and I'm ready to stop it by coming across to it.
Once again, it sounds like footwork. That's moving to set them up for an easily predictable counterattack. Okay. Well, in that case, I want to throw in some feints here in just a moment. I know we got a couple people that have just stepped out for water, I think. So we'll give them just a moment here.
I'll drink water.
Everyone should get water. We're fencing a lot.
And it's sunny out.
Very sunny out.
Yeah, 2 hours in this weather is brutal.
Yep. That's why it's good training. You're getting your money's worth. Have you gotten water?
Getting it.
Okay, when you get your water, we're going to do a little quick talking. Whew. So with the feints we're going to be talking about, this is where it stops looking like KDF or generic longsword fencing and will start resembling some of the look of fencing a Meyerist. Because the feints and the circular cuts and being able to throw multiple cuts is where that starts to pop up. So that's what we'll look at next. I do think we've had our gentleman step out for some water for the rest of the day. Hey, that's okay.
Yep. I think this is you got the sun in the hot of the day, so.
Yeah, about as hot as it gets. All right, I'm going to start talking about some feints. If I would have my teaching assistant, por favor. So Meyer really likes the circular cut. He really likes it. There's a pretty practical reason, I think, which is conserving momentum. It's an energy to throw a cut and pull it back. It's a little easier to continue that momentum. It also invites attacks. It's a huge... I almost swore. Glad I didn't. But it's meant to be like this huge, like, hey, come and get me, is one way to throw it. So if you wouldn't mind stepping over here. If we're in the same game we've been playing, I'm in Fonta, I throw this big cut right to his hands, and he probably is throwing in the cut in that moment. He goes to block it, and maybe I can do something else as he's on point. So he goes to do simple block or whatever. I let miss. And I can crump, taking that action. The Rosenho! No, that is, again, this specific action shows up in every weapon he has. Dusak, the rapier, it shows up in his polearms, it shows up in the longsword. This is a really good idea. Because we have 3 more kinds of cuts. We have the 3 wounders. Do we remember the 3 wounders? Wait.
The cut, The thrust, the slide.
Bingo. We also have 3 other forms of the cut, which is the provoker, the taker, and the hitter. You're not allowed to answer. Any guesses on what those mean?
Inviting a cut.
Provoker's inviting a cut.
Taker is then expecting a cut and then taking it, so doing something.
So interacting with the sword.
Yeah.
And then the hitter, I'm hitting him.
Yeah.
And then I'm hitting him with one of the 3 wounders. So, all of our feints are provokers. A very simple feint, we all know this, is the cut that doesn't reach. We pull it back and cut a different quarter. There's a diagram, you've probably seen it, where it's the 4 quarters, a bunch of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, in multiple circles. That's beautiful. The man's got it on his heart. So, the idea is the opponent is divided up in these 4 quadrants, and we've been attacking them. And you can divide up those 4 quadrants on his head, and on his arms and legs. And each of those is the cutting angles we did with the primary cuts. The Oberhau, the Unterhau, the middle Hau, and the Scheilhau. So with the feints, we now attack one of those openings. Cool. Hey, look. His sword's in the upper right opening for me. I should attack where his sword isn't. So I can throw this half cut, pull it, and cut into the other opening as he's making that motion. The other way we can do that is this fluid big circular cut. Now, I could have done that to Oberhaus, or I could have done as the Scheilhau like I did. This is just presenting different options. Those are some examples. Of course, we got Durchwechsel too. It's not necessarily a feint, but if he's in a guard, I cut, drop the point, thrust through. It's called very similar cavazione with Italian systems where we're here, he's point forward, I bring the point below and up. Durchwechsel, I try to remember the English, it's something change. You can help me with that probably. Change through, thank you. It's the change through. So those are some of the examples of feints. We have more. Candidly with the heat, I'm trying to get everyone through without standing too long in the sun. Does anyone have a question on any of the other feints we want?
So you're basically, you're intentionally falling short or cutting through a void space to go to something else.
Potentially.
Are we always feinting, or are we sometimes doing a direct attack just to fuck with them?
Sometimes we do a direct attack just to fuck with them. If we only do feints and then attack on the second time, that's very predictable. Because what he's going to do, I attack his hands, he's not going to react, and he's going to block the real attack. Sometimes we shouldn't just be feinting. In fact, I think you should probably do a 60-40 real attack feint. That's my personal thing, that's not Meyer. Just because if he's in Flug, sorry, if you're in Flug, point forward, hands low. Sometimes I want to throw that hitter, and I want to blast that point out of the way with my Zorn and hit him. Other times I'm going to do some form of the feint, get in the block, and cut back over. Or I might even cut through below and raise it back up. So we can pull it, we can cut all the way through, or we can change the direction of the cut as we're going. Those are kind of the big 3 categories I want to focus on for now. Because as we go back to the game we just did, the attacker gets 1 feint. It's the new rule. So now, if we're in this guard, we're playing this distance game, right? And I can either throw the direct cut, or I can do any of the feints I want to get his sword to move, to hit him into a deep target. We're opening up our targets now. If you don't know what a deep target is, we're going to be talking about the bottom of your hips all the way to the top of your head. No arms, no legs. The attacker can now hit any of those targets, and the defender can hit that target in the counter action with, not Zvekten, offsetting that attack and counter cut at the same time. If the attacker misses the second cut, though, that's still a loss for the attacker. We still have that rule. And if the defender parries the feint, and it was a feint, maybe you'll need to discuss this, I lean towards that being a loss. You should not let your opponent block your feint. It should just be outside of their defense. Gucci?
So the attacker gets one either straight attack or feint attack. The defender gets one counter attack.
Yes. Defender only gets one actual counter defense. Or counter cut would be a better way to put it. Cool. Alrighty, well, let's do some fighting. After this, we're going to be slowing down, doing some winding work. Hey there. How you doing? Partner up at your leisure. I think we got some folks taking a break, so it's just us four here.
Would you like to attack first?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet on the bait.
I know, but I didn't get your body.
All right, brief pause. I'm going to add in, you may start in any guard position. You no longer have to start in Fontaine. Continue.
Got out. Nice. I like.
Not my target. Body target. So you won that one.
You okay? Is that too hard? Okay. Okay.
Not this Vercopter.
You just got the same thing I did. But yeah, footwork is beat any of the other things.
It does. It does.
Whew. All right, 2 more rounds.
I didn't respond.
Short target. Still had the berry. Still alive.
Nice. All right, so that felt more like fencing probably, right? We actually got targets, we got counters, we got other guards. Anything taken away from this?
Still makes a big difference.
But we're just still the number one, right?
Work is king, baby.
Yeah, because we're worried about the feints. Like, okay, if I'm not in range, it doesn't matter what you do.
So you have to throw a feint that's believable for have it to work, right? Yeah. Other thoughts? One thing I'll share too is the most believable feints were a lot of the ones that were smaller. I know I just talked about, oh, you got this big circle here. That's an option. But the most common is just that nice, hey, I'm cutting a half cut to this opening, and maybe I pull and cut to the same opening or somewhere else.
This is harder to do, but it's not a feint to start with. It's a real attack until they indicate that they can stop it, and then you stop it and do something different.
Yeah.
So it can be a feint if it needs to be, but you're in control of it enough to send it the rest of the way if you need to.
Exactly. The quote Gigante, he tells you, oh, you feint this, you do that, but he always adds, if they don't respond, hit them. And that's true with the feints as well. You should have the line to, hey, if they don't react, I'm hitting them. And that's extremely important. Cool. Let's get some water. And we're going to be slowing down. We're going to start working on recognizing the bind from Fulin. And how we doing over here? Y'all good with the water?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
I'm in a similar place.
Completely understand. Feel free to observe. Happy to answer questions too, but take care of your health. It's hot out here.
How much of this have you successfully translated to non-CNC, like right here?
Pieces of it, yes. And there is, Meyer was aware of the Bolognese tradition, where the proto-rapiers start showing up. In fact, Meyer talks about a rapier of 2 Ps. It's less the 45-inch very skinny sword, and much more that transitional weapon. And there are a lot of techniques. All of the winds are there. All of the cuts, too, are there in the rapier game as well. You have to follow through with the draw instead of allowing it just to be percussive is the main difference. And also with the offsetting we did, right? It's the same idea as a counter thrust in rapier. If they thrust instead of cut at me, I'm going to put the strong of my sword against their weak, push and step through, or push and step through. Yeah, I would say it can be translated absolutely. You're just using a smaller piece of the system, or less pieces. But the footwork's all the same. Guard positions are all the same. So, yeah.
I didn't hear no H one. I didn't hear no H first.
Cool.
You know, I heard they're working on something. Heard they're inventing a three-handed sword.
A three-handed sword, wow.
Three-handed sword, yeah.
Wow.
Got Top Man on it.
Top man on the three-handed sword. Huh. Food for thought. All right, so quite frankly, we're dealing with some experienced folks on this list, so I feel confident that we don't need masks per se for the next couple things we're doing. So let some heat out. You're going to want your swords, though.
Gloves or not?
Yeah, you'll want gloves. You'll want gloves.
Oh, you're gonna need it.
Yeah. What, we're doing this?
Finally, we're doing wrestling. I know. We've all fought for it for many years. And now, I too...
That's pretty soft.
All right, so I have done the drill with these two. And it's very simple to start. We're just going to take the point of our sword to grim, if you would. We're going to be in a long point position. Actually, we're going to start in flute. Fox. I always get mixed up. It's flute. And I am going to extend my point, the long point, against the weak of his sword. Extend his weapon and move I still have control. You got to move that point out of the way. Yeah. And I retract. This is push hands game. I'm looking and to get the weak. All right. And it's not the footwork yet. We're going to add that in, but quite literally just he's going to yield to my pressure. When my point's over there, he's going to extend. I yield to his.
The goal is to get the foot onto the weak.
Yeah. And when they extend, you're going to pull your sword back and go, oh, and extend out. This is, I stole this from my old Tai Chi class. This is basically a push hands drill. But you've never really thought, hey, what does this feel like in the bind? And then you're going to switch sides, right? And then you have to play the other way. And cool, I've extended. He's going to retract. And this is just feeling, hey, we don't have to go fast for this. It's just quite literally feeling the idea of hard and soft. So we have weak and strong of the sword. Hard and soft is basically the presence, right? I know some folks have heard, hey, when the opponent's hard, you should be soft. When they're soft, you should be hard. What that means is, really, if you wouldn't mind taking your guard again, if I press against the sword and he really presses back, that would be hard. So I need to be soft, which is either to move my sword out of the way, or if he does it again, just getting unyielding to that pressure. Or, you know, we're not going to worry about me tearing right now, but that is an option. We will in a bit. Now, if I push through and he doesn't do anything, I should be hard, right? So sorry. It's okay. If he doesn't do anything, well, I should walk through. There is a game part of this as well, but I want folks to pair up and just the simple push hands to get the established feeling of the hard and soft in the bind. Cool? All right. Partner like that.
Are you still in?
Cool.
You got the basically we're just putting out here at extent. And I'm just trying to get my.
Yeah, and you're going to just retract and then extend it back out. And we're going to mostly stay in flug or long point for right now. We're going to add pieces in a sec. And maintain the contact with the blade.
I think that you might be wanting to try and transport me here. I'm trying to transport it here.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah. So your hand's rising and you're holding it like this, grip?
Oh. Yeah. My bad, gang.
You're good. That could be part of why you're losing the blade and the feeling. All right, I think we're pretty, we know. So here's the actual game. This is a simple game to find, hey, what's the proper counter position to this? So, Grim, let's say we both start in flug and we're cross. Great. I'm going to extend my guard, and you're not going to react yet. I'm going to go. And Nox! I'm maintaining contact the whole time. Now he has to go, okay, what step and move of the blade do I need to do to get the blade dynamic to be better for me? So, okay, cool. His point's offline, but he has my weak. Okay. So that could be me just stepping back. And so you need to take that action. While keeping the point towards the opponent's the key. That feature I'm going to add. Keep the point towards them, and you get either long point, or Langenort, flug, or iron gate, whatever variation of this you want. And a variation of Ox. The goal is to get the wind weak on strong, just like the counter cut game we did, except now we're maintaining contact. So if you're at Ox, this is an important example. Extend, thank you. And I'm underbound. I'm like, shoot. I can always, wind over top, but I'm maintaining that contact, right? I'm not slowed. This is bad. This is good. The two rules I'm going to say is you cannot leave the bind. That's it. Don't leave the bind. Get the counter position. Try to do it with a single step and a single move of the sword if you can.
So it's basically counter move, pause. The other person does a counter move, pause.
Yeah, it's about observing what the dynamic is because we don't get a chance to during a fight typically.
It's not the active pushback until you've made the counter.
Exactly. Take your turns. It's turn-based strategy.
I need a minute.
I'll pop in.
That's still accurate.
Yeah, see? Bam. Yeah, so keep that. So, go back.
That was a bad thing.
Spin the other way. Or you could extend the long point.
Maybe spin the other way.
You can go to the ox on the other side.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
What happens when we end up in wrestling fight?
That's a great question. We'll get to that.
Oh, opposite.
All right. There you go. Hey, sure. Hey, I love a nice cut around like that. It's beautiful.
We're finding ourselves in that position where, like, okay, I'm down underneath. It's the cut around is really the best choice, rather than going back to fluke or going back to ox.
Yeah, what I'm finding for this game especially is it makes you realize, oh, I can just wind from ox to this position from an odd angle. Like, we were struggling where it ended up being like weak on the outside, but really the answer is like, crud. Oh, if I do this and he winds up, cool, he has it. This is bad for me, but I can do the same angle, end up below.
You just wind back from ox to ox.
Yeah, keeping the point forward. So instead of doing this cut around, what we do for this Verkow, we keep it forward and rotate through. We're going to add one more piece. We may as well. I'm going to introduce the idea of Meyerisms. It is awesome. It is really hard to pull off in tournament, but it is a yielding. So if my Cadet Wellness is pressing my sword this way, instead of leaving the bind, cutting over, instead of pushing back, I go, okay, I'm going to turn my hand around. And as you press through, cross guard catches, but I have to use movement of my feet to not be in the point, yielding to the attack, and getting the thrust. There's many others. I'm willing to take criticism on this. Yes, absolutely. Please do. Meyerisms not a move I use very often, but I want to throw it out there.
So the two binding techniques, Duplerin and Mutirin. Duplerin is called out as being the one where you yield to their hard pressure, and Mutirin is called out as being used when they have soft pressure.
Thank you for the correction. Yes.
So that if you're struggling with making it work, that might be what's happening.
Definitely. And candidly, I also mixed up which was which just now, so that helps quite a bit. So the other option too is just leaving the bind, right? He presses through, dip below, end up at the point exact same spot. I'm covering. Great. If he's pushing from a different position, maybe I retract my sword and bring it down. Those are the two ways we can leave the bind and return to it. And again, hey, if I do that, great. But the downside of that is if I leave the bind and he has a really good position, he's just going to hit me. Like right now, if I move my sword here, he just thrusts me before I can get a good hit at it, probably. Same with the going above. This is going to take even more time. And if he goes into ox as I pull away the blade, and it keeps contact on that side, it's going to be bad for me because as I try to pull my blade, he's just going it through into it. Cool. Well, it's hot out, and I don't know if we need to continue this one. I feel like this is good. I think normally indoors, say, hey, let's do another 10 minutes of this winding. The big thing is just, hey, it's the same dynamic to me as I still want the weak of their sword in my strong. I still want to hit them with the weak of mine, point into them, whether it's through one of the three wounders. But the key difference now is I want to feel. This is what the feeling idea is. Hey, what is their blade doing? So one of the options we would have is a game where we could play. Do we want to play another game or do we want to talk through things? How are we feeling?
I am just talking through things at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk through this. So we're in the bind and I pass. I do a little bit of this kind of motion, right? I extend up from this angle, see the press. If no pressure, great. Line. Here. Now we have options to respond. If it's a low press like this, I drop the point, thrust through. The long edge of my sword is towards their weapon. Ideally, if I can get on the flat, even better. This is one of the situations where I'm like, ooh, maybe a shield how. Cut on top of their weapon. Fantastic. Another one would be, he presses, cool. I leave and just cut, right? Classico. We're out here, he's like, oh no. Use his own momentum, let my sword move away, cut into one of the openings his weapon is not. And where it's not traveling to either, that's key. Any other thoughts from y'all's experience about working from the bind and some of the options there, since we're working hard?
Some of the things that went with earlier is being able to force up high.
Okay. So winding high to get that angle rather than pressing their blade low.
Yeah. And it's like, because sometimes we get in the middle and like, okay, all I have to do is I'm underneath, I just have to press up and then get that angle around the back blade of it.
Very cool. Any other piece we want to throw in? With similarity to the rapier, what are you noticing there? Because your Italian rapier background.
You could do the same, that same drill we were doing with the winding.
Mm-hmm.
You could do the same thing in rapier with, the changing guards, keeping contact, but it's just not as, it's a lot more pressing in this, using a longsword that you have that contact, then especially in Italian rapier, you don't really need that.
And I'm glad you specified Italian rapier, because there definitely is a KDF-related tradition of fighting with rapiers that is more contacty, for sure. La Verdadera Destreza as well as Destreza Común are both thumbs up for blade contact, because it lets you know where they are. It's the same reason why the Bolognese and Italian rapier masters don't love it as much, is it gives information. So that is a big piece there too. Any other final thoughts on the wind or working from the bind?
Just need more practice.
Practice. Cool. Well, how do we feel about doing some slow work in ring and distance? Some potential for where we could throw a pommel strike. I know it's not legal in SEA rules, but it's part of KDF.
Do you guys, so where I'm from in On Tier, we have a system called check, where we are allowed to not deliver a pommel strike or like a buckler strike or something like that, but we're allowed to demonstrate and call check. Is that a thing out here at all?
Cultural norm is no, but I've done it myself and seen others do it. It's just something we discussed before about.
Okay.
It's not in the rule books, but hey.
It's part of our rules back home.
Sick. I think it'd be cool to find out if it is. If we are interested in doing that, be happy to throw some ideas at y'all. You get to retire.
It is.
I'm a little cooked too.
Okay.
It is hot,
It is very warm.
but the draw of swords is strong.
Okay.
It sounds like people are.
I think we're calling it here, understandably. It's been an hour and 40 minutes, hour 30 minutes in the sun. So I think due to weather, we're going to pause here. I want to thank everyone. I'd be happy. I'm going to be here all weekend, so happy to continue discussion, happy to get some fights in.
Thank you very much for the class. That was a pleasure.
Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I look forward to getting to play with you.
I was watching. It's like, okay, that's what you were doing against me, and
Hey, you're learning the trick.
Okay, that was because that trick out of Fontag is like, damn, because I'm just so focused on that it's gonna be a hard attack. And all of a sudden, it's a soft attack from the offside. Like,
Absolutely. I'm gonna make sure the stream's off, and I'll be back in a moment.
thank you. Yeah. At least the minimum number of